All right, gentlemen, we've been over the rules. Protect yourself at all times. Follow my instructions. We're gonna have a clean fight. Let's touch gloves and do this.
Daniel Cormier made the most of his second opportunity to leave with the belt. That's what Gustafsson is looking to do tonight. The Mauler, DC.
Good.
Here we go. Gustafsson in the white, gonna try to utilize that reach, stay on the outside. DC wants to turn this into a dogfight.
Gustafsson very good at fighting tall, Mike. He's not just a long guy. He's excellent at using that length. Keeps guys at the end of his punches and kicks. And he has very good footwork for a big man.
That's what made the Jones fight so fascinating.
Threw a hard switch kick to the body there, and there's the drive by DC. Looking for the single.
DC, can he get him? Yep.
Whoa.
Good takedown by the champion.
That's Daniel Cormier, ladies and gentlemen. That's some high-level wrestling.
Embrace the grind. Trying to smother him here. Utilize the Turk. Wrestlers don't mind working out of the half guard. They oftentimes feel they get more control.
Well, Daniel is winning here, and it's all about pressure, and it's all about success. And this is what he wanted to do, and he was able to do it. But now Gustafsson moves it to full guard, and Gustafsson is surprisingly effective off of his back with elbows, especially because of his length, because of his torso length. He can keep a fighter with their head like in the middle of his chest, and he can generate some good power off those elbows.
Cormier with the ground and pound here early. Gustafsson trying to work his way up, not yet.
Cormier right back.
Gustafsson closes the guard once again. Gustafsson made his UFC debut at age 22. Cormier didn't start at MMA, Joe, until he was 30. To the body. Cormier scores a ton from the clinch and a ton from the ground as he's doing here.
But so far, Gustafsson has been able to neutralize a lot of the ground and pound by using wrist control, controlling the posture. Daniel's gotten some shots in, though.
Mostly those shots to the body. There you go right there. Great example of the guard of the Mauler. Cormier coming in, as you mentioned, Joe, in what he believes is the best shape of his career.
Well, he really got his diet in order for this camp.
Took it to a whole new level.
Alexander looking for a submission attempt and got most of his guard pass to half guard. Hip escaping, trying to get back to full guard again.
Almost 50 strikes already. Cormier doing all of this on the ground.
Side control for Cormier, and this is not good for Gustafsson. Gustafsson scrambles, very nicely done by Gustafsson, back to his feet.
Gus is up, 1:15 on the clock. Looking over towards his corner, Alair Latifi.
He turned and looked towards them, that's
big
rare.
time.
I mean,
The All-Stars Training Center in Stockholm. Inside leg kick by DC. Story of round one, big takedown and ground and pound from the champion.
that was a nice leg kick there by Gustafsson. A nice
Good
inside
kick by
leg kick by
Cormier.
the champ.
Caught it. Gustafsson, if nothing else, looking to make DC think about a few different things at the beginning of round 2.
Gustafsson likes that looping uppercut.
Yeah.
Feints with the jab and steps in with that looping uppercut.
Little slip by Cormier. Quick punches in the clinch there. The battle continues.
Interesting that Javier Mendez was saying to Daniel Cormier, you stood with him a little bit longer than I want you to.
You see that reach of Gustafsson. Cormier literally leaning back away from potential punches.
Gustafsson keeps looking at his corner, not just listening to them, but looking at them.
Ooh. Up the middle, over the top. Title fight here in Houston, main event. Gustafsson fakes the takedown.
Yeah, just to keep him honest.
Yep.
But the more Daniel is forced to stand up with him, the more Gustafsson can utilize his advantages. Right there, he caught him with a nice shot.
And the right eye, there's blood under the right eye of the champion. Cormier over the top.
A lot of pressure by Daniel.
Right after the mauler.
Tremendous pressure by Cormier. There's a knee that'll cost Gustafsson, and he gets out of it. Very nice. Look at that, spins around.
This storyline could be big here right now. Cormier not able to take him down, and Gustafsson with a quick takedown.
That is crazy.
Gustafsson went to Alliance MMA.
Again. He hurt him with the right hand. He hurt him. Nice uppercuts here by DC.
This is where DC works, on the ground and in the clinch. Short, but very
nice
effective
knee
strikes.
again, but those knees are dangerous, as Daniel capitalizes on it every time. Gustafsson forced to defend. Hard elbow there by Gustafsson, and you see the blood on that elbow afterwards.
After the Phil Davis fight, Gustafsson went to Alliance to improve his wrestling, his overall game, and you can see it here early in this fight with Cormier, the two-time Olympian. Switches to the southpaw stance. Watch for the body kick.
He's having a problem with that right eye, Mike. Daniel Cormier is. It's swelling, there's bleeding in it. There's more than one injury, I think. Mixing it up to the body.
Yeah. Putting that jab in the face of Cormier.
Another knee by. That one hurt him.
This is what Gustafsson wants. Stand and trade. Uppercut. He wants to avoid these clinches. Good shots by Cormier.
These are hard uppercuts by DC. And a good left hook by Gustafsson on the break. But those uppercuts by DC in tight were excellent.
Especially when he's pulling down on the neck. Trying to keep Cormier at distance. See if he abandons those knees, Joe.
He's looking for that uppercut, Mike. He keeps feinting with that jab, and then he loves that, like, bolo uppercut. Ooh, nice right hand over the top. Good right hand, and DC comes back. We learned about DC's chin in the Rumble fight. DC can take a hell of a shot.
DC said pursuit causes fatigue. He's trying to pursue Alexander Gustafsson here in this round.
He keeps looking back to his corner. I mean, he's done it 3 times in this round now. Good right hand over the top by DC, and a good uppercut by Gustafsson.
Got ourselves a fight. Gustafsson circling, center of the octagon, controlled by Cormier. Check out the total strikes here in round number 2. Again.
DC loves that
Those
uppercut.
are nasty.
He's having great success with that in the clinch.
DC throws that right hand out there. Clipped him again.
And again with the takedown by Gustafsson. Incredible.
And he's got the back. That's a big statement late in this round, partner.
It certainly is. What's a big statement, period? And that's a shock to Daniel Cormier. And it's something that we talked about when we were watching them prepare for the fight. When you're watching the videos of their training sessions, Gustafsson was shooting a lot of takedowns, and now we know why. And he won that round with them. But I believe that Crazy Bob Cook is probably right. It's probably 1-1.
Coach Andreas Michael in the corner of Gustafsson saying, be mentally strong. Take it to him. Good start to this fight.
Right hand by Gustafsson.
If I would have told you, Joe, we would be in round 3, it'd be 1-1 for takedowns, you probably wouldn't have believed me.
Well, Gustafsson took him down twice.
They credit him with 1.
Nice knee to the body there.
But he's right there with DC, which is the point. Good body
well, one,
kick.
he snapped back up. But the point is, he made his point.
Exactly. That opens up your striking arsenal big time.
Ooh, nice uppercut. Hard uppercut by Gustafsson. Very nice.
Throwing that left hand out, trying to keep Cormier away. 79-inch reach for Gustafsson, 72.5 for DC.
Nice leg kick there. Ooh, good right hand. Oh, beautiful right hand by DC.
DC with a big swing and a miss.
Oh man, he's swinging for the bleachers now. Gustafsson bleeding out of his nose from that right hand.
Oh, combination by the Swede.
Very nice. Boy, Daniels,
again with those uppercuts.
He ties the left hand up. He ties the back. Oh, beautiful uppercuts.
Over and over again.
He's got Gustafsson in trouble with those shots.
It's all kinds of busted up now. And there's that pursuit still from Cormier. Gustafsson trying to become the 5th European to win a UFC belt.
Boy, did DC sprawl to avoid that takedown.
Midway point of this fight.
Nice jab.
Hook, jab. Again with the lead left. Short wrestler, tall striker. Very close fight so far. Good round for Daniel Cormier, especially with those uppercuts again.
Gustafsson has his mouth open now in this round because of his nose. Bleeding out of the nose, probably having a really hard time breathing out of it.
Mentioned earlier, Cormier loves the ground and those clinch strikes. 16 of them so far in the fight.
Oh, another one right on that nose. That nose can easily be broken, Mike.
And again, look at that.
He smashed him with these uppercuts. These are hard
Throwing
uppercuts.
the hip, everything. He's throwing those uppercuts from the ground. And he stays on him. He
hit him with
senses,
that right hand as well.
he senses an opening.
Gustafsson's really busted up now, Mike. Over that right eye as well.
Gustafsson has to avoid these clinch exchanges.
But he's hanging in there, Mike. We learned about his heart and will in that John Jones fight. Pushed to the brink.
Final minute of the third.
The uppercut for Daniel Cormier has been such an excellent weapon in this fight, especially with that left hand pulling down on the head.
And his conditioning.
Yes.
Big shot by the Moors. Gustafsson down. Cormier grabs the leg. Gustafsson. Gustafsson landed big time. 15. How good is this?
What a fight. What a fight. That knee to the head and then the left hook after it were huge.
Championship rounds. Fourth 5-round fight for Gustafsson, all in the UFC. He went the distance in that great fight with John Jones.
Nice kick to the body there. Nice leg kick. Gustafsson opening up.
DC has gone 25 minutes twice against Jones and Barnett.
Good left-right by Gustafsson, and nice jab.
Right when it looked like Cormier was starting to really gain momentum, the knee came from the Swede. Now we're very even.
Well, a knee like that, Mike, can take a lot out of you. We really don't know how badly he was hurt, but he definitely got rocked.
Precision, speed, movement.
Solid jab by Gustafsson. Good kick to the body.
Cormier staying right in his face. Both men busted up.
Oh!
But far from beaten right hand by Gustafsson. Cormier chasing him down,
man.
like Crazy Bob Cook talked about.
Cormier does such a good job of taking advantage. Once he does tag him, then he just starts pouring it on. And that's when he's gonna be able to land these uppercuts as well. And he's busted up, Mike. Big cut under the right eye of Cormier now.
Total strikes in our fight. Cormier with the advantage big time. A lot of those in the clinch.
Oh, right hand by Gustafsson.
And again, DC's trying to spring into those punches to handle this distance. Almost jumping into those punches. Not that one, though. Title on the line. Championship rounds. Snaps his head back with the jab.
Pop that right hand in there.
Like that, this is double left, Joe, and then the right hand right down the pipe.
DC's just chasing him down, walking him down. Nice front kick to the body, very nice.
You can see the way it landed in the midsection of Cormier.
But DC's the one pressing the action, pushing forward. There's a nice right hand. Oh, looking for that knee there.
That knee again.
Again, looks for the takedown. There's that knee again.
And Daniel Cormier has not looked for a takedown in forever.
Daniel with the right hand there.
He's keeping the pressure, but we haven't seen the wrestling of Cormier. He's got to lunge in to to those punches.
The amount of movement, if you compared like how far they've traveled, Gustafsson has had to move so much more because he's moving away, he's backing up. A lot of his movement has been going backwards, which is exhausting. Like all his distance he travels, whereas Cormier just walks him down. Oh!
He threw a kick out there. Gustafsson threw him aside for half a second. They're right back up, though. 15.
Gustafsson keeps reaching for that leg when Daniel throws it. But this is almost anybody's round here.
Oh, good connection there.
It's flurries like that that could win a round when they're this close. Man, what a fight. Wow.
Alexander Gustafsson. Daniel Cormier. Bit that final round. 5 minutes remain. Crazy Bob Cook saying, do you think you could get me a takedown here? Very animated, the corner led by Andreas Michael of the Mauler. Very close fight.
Very close.
Could it be the first title defense for Cormier? Or will the belt go to Stockholm, Sweden? Nicely
Nice right
done.
hand. Beautiful right hand.
Changing levels. Went body with the jab and then the right hand. Cormier, Velasquez, Rockhold, all championship fights.
Right hand by Cormier there.
Pushing forward here. Got him with the right hand a bit.
Nice right leg kick.
Cormier again on the pursuit.
Nice right hand by Gustafsson. Pressure by Cormier is intense.
Man, these guys have worked well over 20 minutes now. Look at the distance traveled by both of these men in this fight. Crazy.
It's what we were talking about. Look how much more Gustafsson has been forced to travel.
Absolutely.
How do they track that? Do they have a computer?
It's just magic.
Three minutes to go.
Will Cormier try to potentially seal this fight with a takedown? He's only had one in the fight. Or will it go the other way? Just missed.
So many times Gustafsson has done that and actually turned his back on Cormier. And that doesn't look good for the judges.
This is where Daniel's been very good. Cormier's conditioning. The conditioning is just, I don't want to say night and day because that's not fair to Daniel,
that
but
right hand.
it's outstanding tonight, Joe. Past the midway point of the 5th and final round. Cormier still keeping a great pace.
Gustafsson's done a good job of tying up the right hand now in these clinches to keep Daniel from landing those uppercuts. And there it's free, and he looks for the knee. It does not land. They're just exhausted, especially Gustafsson.
See, calling for it again. Crazy Bob Cook. Put him down, take him down. Uppercuts both sides. Under 90 seconds remain. Again, as you said, he's looking at his corner.
Yeah. But he's tying up that right hand again to avoid that uppercut. But he's got to do something offensive and something big if he wants to pull this round out.
Tried the quick trip, didn't work.
Looks for the knee. Looks for the right hand. He's so weary, Mike.
Yeah, and both men are real slippery now.
But DC's punches seem to be more substantial here in this third round.
Under a minute.
But no question, he's weary as well. You can see how labored his shots are here.
Fifth and final round.
He's just being more busy. "30 seconds to go. He looks for that knee, doesn't get it.
30. They are on their feet here in Houston. What a title fight. Sensational main event. 15 seconds. The knee again. They're gonna go the distance. Outstanding.
Wow. Wow. That was a crazy fight. Cormier, I believe, landed more shots in that final round. I think he was more active and more effective in the clinch with those uppercuts. I think those were the most effective in scoring shots of the last round. And that might have been what retained his title, depending, of course, on how the judges see it. But what a close and what an excellent fight. What a brawl. And here's the beginning of the fight. Big slam from Cormier, a right hand. There's these uppercuts that were so effective from the clinch, and there's a big knee from Gustafsson that had Cormier in all sorts of trouble. Takedown by Gustafsson. Kick by Gustafsson.
Here is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 5 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for decision. The judges score the contest 48-47, Gustafsson, 48-47, Cormier, and 49-46 for the winner by split decision, and still the undisputed UFC light heavyweight champion of the world, Daniel D.C. Cormier.
Split decision victory for D.C. He defends his title here in Texas.
All right, gentlemen, we've been over the rules. Protect yourself at all times. Follow my instructions. We're gonna have a clean fight. Touch him up. Let's do this.
Here we go, Chael Sonnen, Shogun Hua.
Ready. Let's do it.
And Chael immediately with a takedown. As we said before, one of the best takedowns in the UFC today. He's got a fantastic power double, but Mauricio has great sweeps and great leg locks. He's back up to his feet. And Mauricio, many times in his career, look at this, Mauricio takes Chael down. Wow. Who saw that coming?
Few, if any.
I don't think Chael expected it. I think he expected him to separate. That's probably why he was so successful with it.
And Chael Sonnen, more than any other fighter, seems to get that takedown within 5 or 10 seconds of the start of the fight.
But impressive that Mauricio was not just able to get back up to his feet, but take Chael down. Let's see if he can contain Chael here. Chael looking for a guillotine.
And now getting a hold briefly of Shogun, who is back, and now Shogun up against the fence looking for the reversal.
But now Chael's gonna be aware that Mauricio is looking to take him down. Let's see if he can do it still. Beautiful, beautiful job.
But Chael reverses and gets into the half guard choke.
Chael has an excellent head and arm choke. If Mauricio lets one of those arms go up high, Chael will pin down his head to the canvas and try to lock that arm in place. And here's Mauricio's sweep game. See him lock onto that half guard, use that underhook on the right side. He's got double unders now, and he's gonna try to sweep Chael. Very difficult to sweep a strong wrestler with a good base. Now he doesn't have double underhooks anymore. Is imperative, at least with this type of sweep. Got to get a good control of Chael's body, and double underhooks usually from the half guard is the best way to do that. And he's eating short punches here. Chael lets him get double underhooks. Now he's got butterfly guard, back to half guard. But in order for him to get the sweep, he's got to scoot out towards his left side. He's doing that. See how he's turning his body? He's going to turn towards his right, so his right hip is down on the ground, his left hip is up. He's got to turn towards him clockwise. He's trying. Chael stops it. But Chael's not stopping him from getting double underhooks. Now he's in full guard. It's not as effective. And Chael's dropping bombs on him.
Yeah, the nice left hand was able to get through for Chael. Hits the body there.
Chael passes because of the ground and pound. And Mauricio rolls back into guard. Half guard again.
Well, Shogun Rua knew he needed to be prepared for an exhausting fight, and that's what he's got on his hands here early.
Shogun's been through wars. The 5 rounds with Dan Henderson was one of the greatest fights of all time. And after 4 rounds of just absolute craziness, Mauricio was winning the fight. The punishment that he took by Dan Henderson those first 2 rounds, God, most human beings would have never made it through. But Mauricio not only made it through, but he was actually on top of Dan in the last round, which was incredible.
Best fight I have ever seen in person. Chael Sonnen having an effective ground and pound game going here early. Seems as though the elbow might be something that they lean on here. And the numbers bear it out. Already 47 unofficially landed for Chael Sonnen.
Yeah, Mauricio has had no success in his attempting his sweeps or his leg locks. But Chael is landing many, many punches from the top position. But again, as we said, unbelievably durable is Shogun.
And unbelievably conditioned is Chael Sonnen. Very aggressive and effective with the ground and pound early.
He's looking for that guillotine. He's looking for that guillotine. He's got it under the choke. He's got it. He's going to drop down. Wow, he might have it. He might have it. Mauricio's trying to get that arm in. He can't get it. Can't get it. Chael's got it. He's got it.
Tap! Chael Sonnen!
Outstanding.
By submission. How about that?
Outstanding. As we said, very underrated submission game. So confident in it that he pulled guard and wound up on the bottom and still finished it.
And if you didn't think Chael Sonnen could still hang with the guys at the top of the sport, this isn't a prime 2005 Shogun Rua, but there's some evidence. Chael Sonnen is back.
And not even in the weight class that he chooses to perform in usually. Beautiful, beautiful performance by Chael Sonnen. He felt like he had it, and he said, you know what, let's do it. Pulled guard, and did it absolutely beautifully. Shogun tried to get his head away, tried to push, tried to separate it, and just had to tap or he was going out. Did his best to defend, but in the end, Chael had it absolutely perfectly locked up.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Herb Dean has called a stop to this contest at 4 minutes, 47 seconds of the very first round. Declaring the winner by tap out due to a guillotine choke, Chael Sonnen.
All right, I am here with the winner, Chael Sonnen. First of all, Chael, congratulations. And how does it feel to be back in the win column?
Tonight's fight is dedicated to my grandma Natalie, my friend Elena, who are in a battle much bigger than Shogun and I did tonight. For everybody else that's ever had to go through cancer or anything like that, this is for you.
Chael, You submitted him. One of the things we were talking about in this fight is your underrated submission game, but were you surprised at all when he took you down in the beginning of the round?
I'm the man of the hour, Joe. Too sweet to be sour. What you see is what you get, and what you don't is better yet. I'm the women's pick. I'm the men's regret. And if you win against Chael Sonnen, you made a bad bet now. Right here on the UFC's new home, Fox Sports 1. Vanderlei Silva, 6 feet tall and 205 pounds. Boy, until I met you, I didn't know they could stack crap that high. Whoa, 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 whoa. I will let you know when I'm done, Joe. I just got done with the world champion. If you think I won't add a middle-aged comedian just for the goddamn pleasure of it, you better think again. Vanderlei Silva, 3 months, you and the bad guy.
Chael Sonnen, ladies and gentlemen.
And Chael Sonnen undefeated.
Anthony Dan, this is for the UFC Light Heavyweight Championship. The world fight clean, fight hard, fight fair. If you want to touch gloves, do it now. Best of luck to both of you.
Big John McCarthy, our referee. First time since 2011, a man other than John Jones will be called champion at 205. Will it be Cormier or will it be Johnson?
All right, here we go. Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's get it on.
Here we go! Red trunks for Rumble, black trunks for DC. First title shot ever for Anthony Rumble Johnson. He got poked.
He got poked right away. He said he's okay.
Yeah, and he has had trouble. We hope it doesn't go any further than that, Joe, with eye pokes in the past. But back to business right here. Third 5-round fight for Cormier. And it's rocked. Rumble with big power early. Looking to finish him right here, right now.
And this is what we had talked about with, look at this though.
Big swing and a miss, got himself off balance.
Got way tangled up.
Look how strong Rumble is, though.
Daniel's trying to drag him to the ground here. Rumble trying to separate the hands and break free. But Daniel's on him. Cinched around the waist.
Go grab the fence.
Head slam.
Yep, quickly though.
But barely to the ground.
Yeah.
Right back up.
Well, Johnson, very good takedown defense.
And he got a little wild there. And if he does get out of this position, he's gonna know you can't get wild with Daniel Cormier, or this can happen.
He rocked him with the right. Now he wants to get back free and stand and trade. DC all over him like I talked about earlier, Joe. Constant pressure, embrace the grind. The moniker of all wrestlers.
Although Daniel didn't want it to happen the way it did, where he got tagged first, this is his type of fight. This is gonna help Daniel here.
Wow, still looking for the takedown, and spinning is Rumble Johnson 2 minutes in. Don't forget,
Daniel holding on to him, keeping the pressure on him, making him carry his weight, and Rumble got to get out of this position.
Gotta work.
Rumble got that arm free, but now Daniel drops down to the leg, lifted that leg off the ground. Hanging on the head again.
Cormier working really hard to try to take Rumble down.
Rumble's
still
back
can't.
up. Rumble's back up, but his head's still trapped.
Everybody talks about the incredible strength of Anthony Johnson. Trying to power out here.
He's free.
Head fighting. Cormier trying to get his opponent off balance.
He's free, but he's still tied up. Oh, head kick.
From really close.
Wow.
I mean, they weren't separated by much at all.
And
big swing by Cormier with the overhand right. Rumble again looking forward. And again
Rumble
fights off
free.
the takedown. Switches to southpaw. Watch for the left kick. Under 90 left in the first of a potential 5 5-minute rounds. Rumble in the southpaw stance.
Yeah, I wonder why he switched up like that.
For that right there, that kick.
It could be.
Now he switches back.
And Daniel switched for a moment as well. Back to it again, back to southpaw.
Rumble tried the counter. DC ducked underneath, they clinch.
The more DC can turn it into this type of fight, the better.
Two-time Olympian with a little bit of dirty boxing right here, Joe, in the last minute of round one.
Well, Anthony's got to be aware also that this is a wearing, grinding type of fight, and if it goes 5 rounds, this is something he hasn't done before, and he certainly hasn't done it before with a guy like Daniel Cormier. Now, every time when they break free and he's unloading all of his power, he's sprinting. I mean, it's not technical exchanges that he's having. He's trying to kill Daniel Cormier with every shot that he throws. That takes a lot of energy. And the question remains whether or not he can do that.
DC connected on the exit. Round 1 in the books.
Distance straight punches.
Javier Mendez. Crazy Bob Cook. Rumble. His first career 5-round fight was the one back in January against Alexander Gustafsson. He finished it in 2 minutes and 15 seconds. This, his second career 5-rounder.
Let's see if he's more conservative coming into this second round, understanding how much energy he utilized.
Heavy kick, heavy
big right
punch.
hand. Big right hand by Johnson.
Blocked.
Big kick
and
by
return.
DC. Oh, wow.
And again, Rumble teeing off with that kick. Overhand right again.
And another hard shot to the body, but DC gets the clinch.
Trying to catch him and put him on his back.
Good takedown defense so far by Rumble.
Cormier picks him up. Puts him down. Half guard.
Daniel on top. One of the keys to the fight that we talked about early has clearly happened for Daniel. He's got Rumble down, and he's on top of him. And this is not where Rumble wants to be. So every minute you see Rumble on his back like this is absolutely not according to the plan.
Joe, in his first 14 UFC fights, he'd only been taken down in 2 of those fights. This would be 3 in 15. And definitive control from top position for Cormier here. Credited thus far with 2 takedowns.
Hard elbow.
Cardio King, as they call him, pushes Daniel Cormier's cardio.
I don't like what I'm seeing from Rumble. I don't like that I'm seeing big, deep breaths with an open mouth. I don't like to see that loose guard. And look at this. Daniel locking up at Kimura. This could be it.
Trying to finish it right here, right now.
This easily could be it. If Rumble can't get his arm free, Daniel gave up on it. He's hitting him with some big shots. And instead of using good jiu-jitsu and trying to get back up to his feet or defending himself, Rumble tried to punch from the bottom. Daniel going for it again.
Cormier received his brown belt in jiu-jitsu the same time as Velasquez received his black belt. Cormier's 2 submission wins, Joe, have been rear naked chokes.
Every time he defends against this, it wears him out. Daniel's making him defend, and he sets it up again.
The pressure.
And then he hits him with more elbows, and you're seeing big, huge, deep breaths by Rumble. And this is the first time as a light heavyweight we've seen Rumble encounter adversity inside the octagon.
Mentioned tonight, the third 5-round fight for Cormier. He's gone the distance twice. We know he can fight for 25 minutes. We've seen it.
And we're seeing an exhausted Rumble Johnson that isn't utilizing good technique to try to get to his feet.
Cormier working the Turk here. Seems to be comfortable with ground and pound from the half guard.
Covering the mouth of Anthony Rumble Johnson. He knows he's tired. There you go, Rumble. That's a good hip escape there, getting the knee in between them, but he needs a lot more than that. He needs to continue scrambling. Not just one initial movement, but many. It's going to take many movements to get back up to his feet. Daniel's going to beat on him for the next minute and 14 seconds unless he does something dramatic.
Shots from the bottom by Rumble.
That's not good enough. He's got to do something to get back up to his feet. Stay defensive from the bottom and then get back up to his feet. But I think he doesn't have the energy to push Daniel off him, which does not bode well considering he's got 3 more rounds to fight after this.
Trying to advance.
It remains to be seen if he gets through this round, how much he can recover in the 1-minute break in between rounds.
45 seconds.
Hip escape there.
Having him stay busy. DC doing a good job of it, trying to posture up a little.
But again, you see the hip escape from Rumble, a small movement, a hip escape, and then a rest.
Big shot.
You can't do that. He's never going to get up from Daniel Cormier if he does that.
Heavy elbows by Cormier.
Those are slicing elbows. Those are the kind of elbows that can cut you. And
20
look at this.
seconds.
Rumble's
in big trouble.
To Big John McCarthy.
He's bleeding. He cut him open with those elbows.
Yes, he did.
10 seconds in round 2. Rumble trying to survive. Big round for Cormier.
Huge round for Cormier.
Wow.
Huge round for Cormier. Rumble's badly busted up.
He's in big, big trouble.
And Daniel Cormier very excited. He smells the title.
He should be cautious here of a big shot from Rumble. Try to put him on his back again. Kick by Rumble connects. And now he slides down and DC's gonna take advantage.
Unless Rumble can take DC down, which he's trying to do, they might be the only way he can get back up to his feet, is to threaten with a takedown himself and then disengage.
And he gets
Rumble
the takedown.
takes DC down.
DC trying to pop right back up, and he does. Cormier had not been taken down prior to the Jones fight.
But he's breathing very heavy. Rumble has an agonized look in his face, and he's breathing very heavy.
Second shot at UFC gold for Cormier.
And Rumble's got to try to disengage here, Mike, if he wants to win this fight.
Right hand, and again.
Wow. Those are hard shots.
Yeah, they are.
Considering his leg is over his head.
Once again, the pressure. The key component to the attack of
Henry
Cormier.
Hooft just yelled at him to man up. Oh, no.
He's in big trouble.
Big, big moment for Daniel Cormier.
Rumble running out of gas big time.
He's fading hardcore. One thing that may help him is that he's in his corner. He's receiving instructions and encouragement from his corner. He just let Daniel spin around behind him and didn't defend.
And now punches.
Oh, that's it.
Up the middle.
Daniel's beating him up.
Cormier looking to become the new champion.
He has been carrying Daniel's weight like this, and this is absolutely exhausting to a guy who's already tired. Don't give up.
Yep, this fight has gone according to plan for Cormier.
But that's the last thing you want to have to tell your fighter. Don't give up. Daniel's got it under the neck.
Trying to lock it up and become the champion.
He's gonna tap.
It is all over. Daniel Cormier is the new UFC light heavyweight champion.
An excellent performance by Daniel Cormier, and not one where he wasn't tested. That was a fight where he was absolutely tested. He got hit with some big shots, but did what he had to do, imposed his will on Rumble Johnson and his wrestling skills, and he is the new UFC light heavyweight champion of the world.
The 12th light heavyweight champion in UFC history.
Here's a high kick by Rumble early, tagged DC, and here's a big takedown by Daniel. And there's a nasty elbow and big shots from the top by Cormier. And this is the end of the fight. He gets the back of Rumble, gets on top of him, beats him down, makes him carry his weight, and eventually slid that forearm under the neck and secured the rear naked choke.
Bruce Buffer has the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee John McCarthy's called a stop to this contest at 2 minutes, 39 seconds of round number 3. Declaring the winner by tap out due to a rear naked choke. And the new undisputed UFC light heavyweight champion of the world, Daniel DC
All right, gentlemen, we've gone over the rules. I expect a clean fight. Obey my commands at all times. Defend yourselves at all times. Touch gloves, go back. Let's do this.
Josh Rosenthal, our referee. Nate, the Great Marquardt, facing off against Chael Sonnen. Winner to get a shot at the UFC middleweight belt.
You ready? You ready? Let's fight!
And here we go.
And Chael Sonnen immediately taking it to Nate Marquardt, trying to put the pace on him, trying to get him down to the ground.
White trunks, solid white trunks for Chael Sonnen.
Chael Sonnen, Olympic team alternate, NCAA All-American wrestler, outstanding grappler.
Scrappy Greco-Roman fighter, very well-rounded. He thinks he's got the ability to dig just a little bit deeper than Nate Marquardt.
Well, very mentally tough. You know, talked about that in the pre-fight. Again, his number one problem in his career has been dealing with submissions. And the takedown, and a guillotine.
Nate Marquardt.
He's doing it perfect, too. He's got arm in, and he's high on the neck. What he wants to do, Mike, if he wants to try to finish him, is that right there. Get tight on the neck right there. Oh! He lost it, and now he's got Chael on top of him. Chael got through the hard part there.
Right in front of Matt Lindland in the corner of Chael Sonnen.
And Chael Sonnen will beat guys up in their guard.
Sonnen, the winner of 9 of his last 11 fights, including that fight which ended up not being a title fight, Joe, that you talked about in the WEC against Paulo Filho.
And one thing we don't see too often from Nate is Nate on his back. We don't really see him that often in this position, so we don't really know how he attacks with arm bars and triangles and what have you from here. But Chael Sonnen, we've seen him many times in this spot. He has beaten Nate
Vicious elbows. He got out of the choke, and he's showing some serious ground and pound.
And his posture and his strength as a grappler, he can really beat guys up in this spot in a way that they're not used to. They're not used to getting controlled and manhandled like this.
Two-time NCAA National Wrestling Champion, NCAA All-American, as Joe mentioned, an alternate on the U.S. Olympic team.
Yushin Okami called his last loss humiliating to Chael Sonnen, and he was very frank about it. He said, I was completely and totally dominated. I have to revamp my training now. I have to rethink about my training partners, all because of what Chael Sonnen did to him. Before that fight, most people thought of Yushin as the dark horse in the 185-pound division.
And you're talking about a big, strong middleweight Yushin Okami.
And a big, strong grappler. Nate Marquardt back to his feet, though. Flying knee! Chael ate it, takes him down to the ground for a little bit more of the same.
Yep, and he's bloodied up Nate Marquardt already. At least it would appear.
There's some blood. It's tough to see where it's coming from.
This is that grinding wrestler thing going on right now.
We said it many, many times. There is no better base for entering into mixed martial arts than the highly successful competitor as a wrestler. The competitive wrestlers, the highly successful amateur wrestlers, have such tremendous mental toughness. If you can just get through the room, the wrestling room practices at like really high-level universities, NCAA Division I teams, those guys are savages. This is the stuff they go through, just the overtraining, just the mental toughness that you have to develop.
You know, this game has grown and matured so much over the years, but still, when you look up and down the top 10 lists in all the divisions in the UFC, it's still dominated by wrestlers.
You know, there's guys like Anderson Silva, and there's guys like BJ Penn and George St. Pierre. Well, George St. Pierre became a wrestler after he became a mixed martial artist, but just so many guys, from Randy Couture on down, so many guys. Another sharp elbow.
I mean, this is a great start. Maybe even better than Chael Sonnen could even have imagined to this fight.
Well, Chael Sonnen is, you know, he's the worst guy in the world to have on top of you, because he just keeps going with this. He doesn't take any breaks. He's constantly wailing on you. Now, what we're seeing out of Nate Marquardt here is a good defensive guard, but we're not seeing him attack. We saw him attack with that guillotine, but basically he's just trying to protect himself. And the reason why is because Chael doesn't let you breathe. He's constantly beating you up with these elbows.
Well, he's got cardio forever. Dominant first 5 minutes for Chael Sonnen.
Chael Sonnen says a lot of funny stuff in his interviews, man. He says, you'll never see him in my guard. I'm a Republican. I don't lay on my back with a man between my legs. I mean, I'm a big fan of the guard, but that's funny as hell.
He hasn't gained any fans in the state of Ohio recently either. Talking about Mark the Hammer Coleman, Randy Couture. He trained with Randy for years.
I think a lack.
Looks pretty similar to what we saw in round one. Except he doesn't have to fight his way out of the choke this time.
Yeah. Nate Marquardt needs to attack off of his back. He needs to attack with triangles. He needs to attack with arm bars. He needs to do something. But just hanging on here is gonna lose him this fight. And letting Chael Sonnen do this to him, take him down every time, is gonna have him lose this fight. Chael Sonnen's a superior wrestler. Nate has to figure out how to deal with that, how to deal with fighting off of his back. Nate was looking for Kimura right here. Here we go.
Seven-time
Chael trying to turn that corner, trying to get on top of him.
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, Nate the Great. And as you said, this is an area that has haunted Chael Sonnen in his career.
Yes, and Nate Marquardt is brutally strong. If he gets a hold of your arm, if he could pop that arm out and up towards the shoulder of of Chael Sonnen, he could put Chael in some deep trouble. Chael's almost out here, and he is out. And that was an intelligent move by Nate Marquardt to let it go in that spot. Because if not, Chael was very close to passing. And now we see Marquardt is.
I mean, this is imposing his will. This is what we call imposing your will.
Imposing his skill set. You know, I mean, this is his spot. He's a wrestler. Wrestlers want to put you on their back. They want to put you on your back and they want to beat you up, and that's exactly what Chael Sonnen's doing.
Marquardt trying to get back up.
He knows he's in a desperation mode here. You know, he knows he's got to do something. You know, and this is you know, there's a lot of jiu-jitsu guys that just aren't really that good off their back. And you can't be just good off your back with a guy like Chael Sonnen. You got to be a murderer.
Oh, there's bloodied up.
I think that's coming from Chael Sonnen. I think Chael's nose is bleeding or something. I think he's bleeding on Nate Marquardt.
Yeah, he's opened up, Joe.
Oh!
What a big shot. Yeah, it's gushing out.
That's from the bottom.
Yeah.
Nate Marquardt opened him up with an elbow.
Yep. Trying to throw those elbows.
Wow,
and
it's bloody as hell. And he's beating up Nate Marquardt, but that one hurt him. Nate Marquardt going for a leg.
Sonnen is opened up by an elbow.
Wow, he is spraying all over Nate Marquardt's back.
2:05 remains.
Maybe he can leak some of that blood on his leg to make it slippery. All right, now he's out. And he's on top of the back of Nate Marquardt. Wow, he is bleeding like a stuck pig here. And he's looking to take the back of Nate Marquardt.
He's still working right through it, though.
Oh, yeah. Well,
nice
this is where
elbow.
that mental toughness comes in. And this is going to turn into a hot oil wrestling match because of all this blood.
Good elbows by Nate Marquardt.
These are very ineffective strikes from the top by Chael Sonnen.
90 seconds remains in round 2. Nate takes a look up at the clock. 1:10 remains in the second round.
Chael Sonnen holding on to the arm here. Just staying on top, holding the position.
He still has control, Joe.
Yes, he does. It's going to be interesting to see how bad that cut is, though, Mike. We haven't even got a look at it because his face has been buried on Nate's back. And Nate
so
spins
slippery
around.
now.
And that's where that's where slippery helps Nate Marquardt. But look at this. Chael Sonnen immediately takes him down the ground. Complete dominance as far as wrestling goes by Chael Sonnen. You know, and when Nate Marquardt said in the pre-fight, I think everything he does, I do better, he was definitely wrong about wrestling.
Absolutely.
You know, until guys fight a guy like Chael Sonnen, until you fight a high-level wrestler, you don't realize it.
Well, Sonnen guaranteed that he would come out aggressively, and he's done exactly that. And so far, it's paid off. Second round comes to conclusion. Top of the middleweight ladder is on the line.
And look at this, Nate trying to take Chael down. And Nate is visibly weary, Mike. And that's
Sonnen has just put on such an incredible pace.
Yeah. This is really worst case scenario. Test your guard 101. What do you do when a world-class wrestler gets you on your back? You better have some answers. Because if you don't, you're going to eat elbow sandwiches. I'm going to tell you something, man. Chael Sonnen can do this to a lot of folks, okay? There's a lot of dudes in the middleweight division right now that are watching this fight going, what am I going to do to this?
Yep. 25 career wins for Sonnen, 32 for Nate Marquardt.
I mean, this is basically, Chael Sonnen's picked up with the momentum that he got off of the Yushin Okami fight, and he's run with it.
Fingers out of the fence.
And as Matt Lindland said in the corner with less swears, this is the best version of Chael Sonnen we've ever seen. And it's coming off the next best version of Chael Sonnen we've ever seen. He's putting it together.
We've not seen Nate Marquardt controlled like this in a long time.
No, he's getting beat up. I mean, he's never been dominated like this. Even when he fought Anderson Silva, it was a fairly competitive fight until Anderson hit that switch, turned him on his back, and then put him away. But he has never fought a wrestler like this.
Even in the loss to Talis Latis, it was because of the penalty points that were deducted.
Right. And again, never fought a wrestler.
Yep.
You know, you can't emphasize it enough. It's such a dominant skill to have, the ability to dictate where the fights take place. Look at this.
3 minutes remains in the fight, Joe.
He's on top, he's maintaining that top position. He's manhandling here. This is a beatdown.
And Marquardt trains with some pretty good wrestlers when he goes and he works with guys like Rashad Evans or George St. Pierre.
Yeah, he does, but there's a big difference between training and fighting, you know, and it really comes out in a fight. And when it really comes out in a fight is there are guys trying to cut you up, smash you, never let you breathe, and we really find out what your guard's all about. You know, and Nate Marquardt, you know, if he loses this fight, guarantee you that's what he's going to work on. Going to work on trying to submit guys off his back. Start hanging out with Shinya Aoki. Come learn some rubber guard. You know, watch Minotauro's fights. Just he's gotta do something to deal with this position. And a guy like Chael Sonnen can just do this all day long. And look at Nate, looks so weary.
And Sonnen looks as fresh as he did at the beginning of the
Nate
fight.
back to his feet.
And they're up. Just under 2 minutes remains.
Oh, Nate caught him with a knee there, but Chael pressing forward. And Nate again, going for a guillotine. He's straining.
Can he get the finish here?
It's deep. It's deep.
Is he going to get out? Chael Sonnen trying to survive.
He's got to hold the hand though, Mike.
He's out. Wow! How crazy is that?
That was do or die for Nate Marquardt right there. He's trying to attack. Unfortunately, his weapons off his back are very limited.
That was his shot, Joe.
Well, that was our shot. We still got a minute to go.
We're going to the swords.
That's the beautiful thing about MMA. You never know. And Nate's trying to get to his feet. And he rolls him over. Nate's on top. Oh!
55 seconds.
Wouldn't knees on the ground be nice right here? Oh, I know. He's thinking about it.
Smart move.
And that right there is the argument for knees on the ground, folks.
I'll tell you what, that's also an exhausted Nate Marquardt. Not only from the pace of Chael Sonnen, but also from trying to finish that choke a second ago.
Also, Chael Sonnen's got to be really aware of this. You know, you don't want to leave this in the judge's hands. We've seen crazy decisions before. When the guy's on top of you at the end of the fight, weird things happen. People forget about the other 4 minutes.
How about the other 14 minutes?
Chael's got to explode.
10 seconds remains.
Oh, Nate Marquardt landed some big shots there.
Final seconds of the fight.
The guard, I thought he's a Republican. I thought he hates this. Awesome, awesome fight.
What a battle. They go the distance.
Nate Marquardt had some of the best success in the fight in the last minute. Had a real tight guillotine, managed to reverse him, landed some good ground and pound, opened up a cut on his nose.
Get him some water. Water.
Very, very tough fight.
Joe, take a look at our fight replay.
And here is that super tight guillotine. And look at the face of Chael Sonnen. I mean, he's in agony right here. But that mental toughness comes into play. And notice he has the hand on the wrist, pulling that other hand underneath his chin away. Pops it out, gets his head out, and then gets reversed by Nate Marquardt. And here's some ground and pound at the end by Nate Marquardt. I think Nate Marquardt stole that round, Mike.
If he did, though, is it enough?
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards for decision. The judges score this contest 30-27, 30-27, and 30-27 for the winner by unanimous decision, Chael Sonnen!
Congratulations goes to Chael Sonnen.
The underdog against that man, the -340 favorite, the defending champion, Daniel Cormier.
Let's go.
Tonight's Fight Clock is brought to you by Modelo Especial, brewed with a fighting spirit since 1925. Oezdemir in white, Cormier in the black with gold trim.
Oezdemir is throwing haymakers right away. Oh, he caught him with the left. Stiff jab by Oezdemir.
He's so long, it's really a problem right now. And he's ducking to his right, so he needs to watch the right high kick, excuse me. Left high kick.
Tagged him again with the left.
Henry Hooft and Greg Jones have tried twice to beat Daniel Cormier with Anthony Rumble Johnson. Perhaps they can get it done with Oezdemir tonight.
Watch the left hook. DC's leaning to the right real hard. So the right high kick and the left hook will be there. Oezdemir's making reads right now, coming hard. He always comes very hard early.
And that's the same habit that led him into that John Jones left high kick in his last fight.
Exactly. That one.
Oezdemir is very strong.
Exactly.
Very strong in the clinch.
And I think that's what we see here in this matchup right off the bat. He always comes very, very hard early. DC will do good to go to a single leg soon. Get that high crotch, move it, use that to get behind him.
Well, Cormier's striking's always been underrated because of his wrestling acumen. But no secret to what he was going to try to do here tonight, at least we thought coming in.
The pummeling is going to be the big difference if DC can get inside. He's going to force Oezdemir to pummel with him, but Oezdemir's doing a good job just hitting him so he can't get a hold of him. There you go, and now he fakes the shot, tries a duck under on the left side, doesn't quite get it, going to the clinch, forcing the clinch here.
Right hand over the top by Oezdemir. DC constantly putting the pressure on him.
He's creating dirty boxing situations so Oezdemir can't be slick and use his technique from the outside.
Oh, clipped him with the right hand there. Good right to the body. So far, DC's absorbed all the big shots.
He does a good job staying out of the real harsh power of it. He stays right at the end to where he's crowding the punches by pummeling. So it makes it a little less power for him from Oezdemir. I like that DC keeps tying him up, though. You got to do that to keep Oezdemir guessing. Even if you don't get the takedown, he just needs to threaten it. Don't like the reaching of DC, though. He keeps reaching for the punches of Oezdemir, and that allows Oezdemir to follow with a kick if he wants. See how he's reaching for the hands? That's a problem if Oezdemir can make reads.
2 minutes to go here in round one of a possible 5.
The real question is going to be, what does Oezdemir look like in the 3rd round, in the 4th round, and in the 5th, if he can get there? He seems to have slowed himself down, realizing he's not going to get DC out of there real quick.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But what kind of a pace have they trained for?
Loaded up on that left hand, DC able to avoid it.
It's a very high pace Oezdemir's keeping right now, though, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
And then DC's pressure, he says keeping him on the heel. That goes back to the running backwards thing you were talking about earlier, Joe. How long can he keep that running backwards?
Oh, DC just stung him with that right hand.
Got him.
And again, and a jab.
Oh! He hurt him with that hook. He's hurt.
DC's moving in, big right hand.
DC gotta watch out. This is where Oezdemir's dangerous.
Oh!
Be careful, take your time if you're DC here. Go to the body, set up the big shots. Ozdemir's got his back against the wall.
And that right eye, problematic for Volkan Oezdemir. You see him trying to blink it out.
And now the pummel. This is where DC can wear down Oezdemir in that pummel.
Yeah, Oezdemir already checking his right eye.
DC's pressure's heavy right now, and that's exhausting.
Oh, big right hand by DC.
Got it. There's that single leg. He's gonna dump and go to a lift here. He's gonna go to the dump and then the lift. Dump and then the lift. Back and forth. Good defense so far, pushing the head down by Oezdemir. That's what you gotta do. Keep the head pushed down, and he gets it. Forcing big guys to balance is the worst thing you could do.
Cormier pounding on Oezdemir here late in the 1st round.
He's got the neck. He's got his neck.
Got it. It's in. That's it.
There's the one.
Oh, saved by the buzzer.
Now we get another round.
So it is bite down on the mouthpiece time for Volkan Oezdemir. We'll see if he can get off to a good start here in round 2, but you gotta think the champion is confident on the strength of what happened at the end of round 1.
Still gotta be patient here. Right now at the beginning of the round is when Oezdemir is the most dangerous. Back to the single leg, and they'll make Oezdemir balance.
Beautiful trip. DC's all
Straight to
over him,
mount.
full mount.
And he knows he can out-grapple him now after feeling that choke, so you're gonna see DC just stay on the grappling and just look to grind him out from the top position here with ground and pound. He's not gonna let Oezdemir back up if he can help it.
Not much resistance from Oezdemir. It's a case of pick your poison. You want to get grounded and pounded or give up your back.
It's crazy that we're saying this just into the second round, but the overwhelming domination on the ground by DC. I mean, you can just see how strong he is. People don't realize how good a wrestler he is, and sometimes they underestimate him until they're in there with him.
Well, not just that, but he's using specific techniques with his wrestling. He's not shooting double legs, he's shooting single legs on a guy, on a big, large man, making him balance. Gets to the mount, goes to the crucifix. He's got the arm. He's trapping the back arm with his legs, and now Oezdemir is just getting softly beaten. And all this does is set up the inevitable, which is the finish that DC wants. But he's taking his time. There's no rush here. He's in a dominant position, and this hurts for Oezdemir.
Yeah, Oezdemir is getting his energy sapped out. He's getting beaten up. The fight's dangerously close to being stopped just like this.
It's pretty much there.
Warning from the referee, Kevin McDonald, for Oezdemir to get out of there.
But he can't. I mean, he's really
And that is it. Daniel Cormier defends in style tonight.
Overwhelming, dominant performance by Daniel Cormier. And he proved exactly what he said leading into this fight. There are levels to this thing, and Volkan Oezdemir is not on my level. He was right.
And that just shows where the 205 division is. It's DC's. There's not a lot of people. I mean, this was the top man in the division right now to face DC.
Well, I think right now the top contender is Alexander Gustafsson.
Yes.
Alexander Gustafsson's spectacular performance against Glover Teixeira, in my mind, set him up. But he went under surgery, so he's recovering from that. But in my mind, he was the more skillful, more well-rounded, and more experienced guy. And barring whatever happens with John Jones, I believe he'll probably be next.
Alexander Gustafsson's one of my favorites to watch and a teammate, so trust me, I'm not going to be sad about that if it happens.
Phenomenal fighter.
Let's take a look back at what Daniel Cormier was able to accomplish here tonight. This fight replay is brought to you by Wish, the secret to affordable shopping.
And what we see here is DC drags him in, shoots a double, transitions to a duck under, and then transitions to a high crotch with his head on the outside, which forces Oezdemir to balance, which is not fun for a big, tall guy. Then he goes straight to mount, to the crucifix position, and pounds him out. Beautiful finish by DC, showing the champion that he is, showing how high level and skilled he is at 205 pounds.
And everything DC said leading up to this fight was, I am just gonna smash this guy. And that is exactly what he did here tonight. The UFC light heavyweight champion.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Kevin McDonald has called a stop to this contest at 2 minutes of round number 2. Declaring the winner by TKO and still the undisputed UFC light heavyweight champion of the world, Daniel DC Cormier.
All right, gentlemen, this is where all your hard work pays off. You ready? You ready? Let's go to war. Come on.
Here we go, looking for the big double early.
And Chael Sonnen, that's that style. He wastes no time, gets right in your face, and makes it a dogfight. Nice knee to the body by Chael.
Stann turns him around. As you mentioned, Stann has had some trouble with wrestlers, but he has worked diligently to round his game out, and he promises that he'll knock him out.
Good right hook to the body by Stann. Powerful right punches. Just the fact that he stuffed that initial takedown is huge, Mike. That's going to give him some confidence. Another nice right hook to the ribs.
Battling for that arm position is important in this clinch game, Joe.
Absolutely. And Stann's got the kind of power that even these short shots will hurt you.
I mean, he punished the body of Chris Lieben and had a fight of the night with George Santiago in his last victory.
Good knee to the body by Chael here. This is Chael's world, the world of Greco-Roman, the dirty boxing, the clinch up against the cage. That's his world. He's a grinder, man. He wears you out like no other in this position.
He is very much like the Hall of Famer Randy Couture, who he trained with forever.
Yes, very similar, and
nice takedown. Right into side control.
Yeah.
He likes to beat up his opponents and demoralize them.
And Chael Sonnen, even though you don't see him, he has submissions. You know, I've seen him train submissions. He's very skilled in jiu-jitsu. You just rarely see him use it. He prefers the ground and pound grind.
Ever dreamed you or your lady was an octagon girl? Make it happen this Halloween. Joe, don't. With an official octagon girl outfit exclusively at UFC.com. I saw you ready to say something. Don't do it.
I didn't say that.
I had to block that one coming. That was a head kick, brother.
All right, Chael's got him inside control here. Back to the action. And
2 minutes in.
Looking to mount. You know, Brian tried to roll over, but Chael pinned him right back down.
Almost got it.
Went for a mount, but now he's stuck in the guard here.
So good adjustment here by Brian Stann.
And one of the things that I said that I'm sure Stann was working on is his submissions off the bottom, not just getting up. Look at this. Brilliant job of taking the back. And Stann sat out. Very nicely done by Brian Stann. Good defense. Spins. Oh, but Chael followed him the entire way. Full back control.
Not good for the All-American.
And again, Chael Sonnen, though we rarely see it, can finish.
The most difficult part of this matchup was the fact that Chael Sonnen could not utilize his great wit against a true American hero in Brian Stann.
Well, he respected him, and so there was no trash talking. It was, I mean, the closest thing was him saying that he's going to get a red, white, and blue ass whipping. Look at that brilliant mount. Excellent job there. Just a huge edge in grappling for Chael Sonnen, and he enjoys this edge over almost everyone in the division.
There's no secret to what Sonnen wants, and that's a rematch with the Spider. And Stann said, hey, I'm fighting the #2 guy in the world tonight. Nobody else wanted this fight with Chael Sonnen.
Yeah, this is definitely a dangerous fight for anybody in this division. 2-on-1 here by Brian Stann. He's defending well. And he got slammed down to the cage right in front of us. Hooks in again. Chael Sonnen just doing everything he wants right now.
Light heavyweight champion John Jones watching his teammate Brian Stann get bettered by the wrestler Chael Sonnen early.
Full guard here. Now look for Brian Stann to try to attack off of his back. If Chael leaves an arm in there, as he's throwing these wild punches, he gets so aggressive with his ground and pound that he has left limbs in there before. That's how he got caught by Paulo Filho. That's how he got caught by Jeremy Horn. That's also how he got caught in the title-losing effort against Anderson Silva. Guillotine attempt here.
Nope.
But he's in full guard. It's going to be really hard to pull that off.
Stann doing a good job here, trying to control a possible finish by Sonnen here in the first, under 40 seconds
Look at the right arm. Look at the right arm. Excuse me, the right arm of Brian Stann as he's holding on to the left arm of Chael Sonnen. What he's trying to do is sneak that knee up and over to get into a triangle position.
He does have submissions off his back. And generally, he's able to get back up.
Oh, big
Sonnen really teeing off here early. Good elbow again by Chael Sonnen. Huge first round in his first fight back in 14 months.
Okay, listen to the ball, man.
All Chael Sonnen in the first 5 minutes. Quickly coming out to the center of the octagon, and again with a big takedown. Chael Sonnen, wrestling 101, embrace the grind.
He gives you no space. It's exactly what he did to Anderson Silva in the title fight. He just jumps right on you.
Yep, 5 times. Beginning of every round, even in the 5th when he got caught by the triangle.
Nice punch to the body, too, by Chael. Stepping over now in half guard. The left knee of Brian Stann is keeping Chael from really getting all of his weight pressed down on Brian Stann's midsection. That's the only thing defending him right now.
Joe, John Bardis, a member of the Wrestling Hall of Fame, is Brian Stann's coach. Ironically, he's also the mentor of Chael Sonnen.
Look how Chael Sonnen brilliantly passed from one side to the other and moved right into side control, bypassing that left leg. He knew that Brian Stann likes to defend on that side with the left leg, so he pushed one way and then hopped over. That's some expert grappling right there. Now also, look how he's hooking the left leg. That's going to allow him to mount. See how he did that? When he was hooking Brian Stann's leg, he was pinning it back, just opening up the door for this full mount. And it's early. A lot of time for Chael Sonnen to work.
Stann knows he's got to control the posture of Sonnen. He's getting beat up.
He's getting outclassed, Mike. Yeah. That's what it is. It doesn't mean he can't win this fight, but he's not going to win this fight fighting Chael Sonnen's fight. And that's what he's got right now. Chael's now smothering him. He's not letting him breathe. He's pressing him down, pushing his hips down on the abdomen, and pushing his chest down on Brian Stann's face. Not giving him any room for air.
An All-American hero against an All-American wrestler.
And Brian Stann is trying to hip escape. Note how he got his right leg over the ankle of Chael Sonnen, but not enough.
Trying to push up.
Now he did. He hip escaped, and he got back to that same position. See how he likes to defend with his left knee? He likes to push down in that half guard with the left knee in position, and that's what Chael Sonnen realized, and that's how he stepped over and bypassed that. Full guard now.
Sonnen just keeps such a grinding pace, though.
Well, you know what? If I was Brian Stann, I'd be throwing up some submissions now. Now, see, he's holding on to the right arm of Chael Sonnen. He's trying to sneak that knee up. There he is. He's trying to sneak it up. He's trying to hold on to it. Oh, what are you doing, ref? They're working, man.
Big, deep breaths from Brian Stann. Let's see how long it's
big right hand by Stann.
Sonnen came in. Stann fired hard.
Good sprawl by Stann.
Right back up.
He's got to create space, though, Mike. He can't let Chael close the distance like this.
Tell you one thing. The layoff has not affected Chael Sonnen if for no other reason than the positive. Slam right into side control.
Right into side control with knees to the body.
And Brian had to be careful trying to brace himself with the arm coming down. Phil Davis did a good job at 205 using his wrestling skills against Stann. He has since gone 3-0 at 85.
This is a bad spot right now. If Chael decides to keep driving that left knee into the body, Brian Stann's not going to be able to do anything about it. He's going for an arm triangle on the opposite side. He steps over. He's in position. He's going to finish it off.
Finish this fight right here.
He's going to finish it.
Sonnen looking for the victory.
Sonnen might go out. He might go out. He's defending the correct way. He's got his hand over his ear. It's called answering the phone. That's how you hold it, but he can't take it.
All over! Chael Sonnen with the victory! A triumphant return!
Absolutely brilliant performance by Chael Sonnen. And here you see Chael, he secures the arm triangle from the opposite side. And once he has it in place, slides his left knee up and over, gets into the proper position, and then flattens out. And even though Brian Stann is defending the right way, it doesn't matter. Chael Sonnen's squeeze is so strong. And here he gets the tap.
Fourth career win by submission. 27th win overall for Chael Sonnen in front of that man. His arch rival, UFC middleweight champion Anderson Silva. Here's Bruce Buffer with the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Kerry Hatley's called a stop to this contest at 3 minutes, 51 seconds of round number 2. Declaring the winner by tap out due to an arm triangle, Chael Sonnen.
Okay, gentlemen, you understand the rules you're fighting under? I want you to listen to me at all times. Keep yourself protected. When I say stop, you stop. Touch gloves. Let's do this.
Never before has a UFC light heavyweight champion moved up to challenge the active heavyweight champion. That is our reality here and now in Las Vegas tonight. Daniel Cormier trying to leave here with a piece of unprecedented UFC history in this modern era. Stipe Miocic trying to successfully defend this belt for a 4th time. Cormier in the white, Stipe in the black and gold, befitting a champion. To be a pro-Stipe crowd here tonight. Miocic trying to close the distance here early.
And there's the clinch DC's going to look for. There's the clinch. He wants the clinch right when you see Stipe start throwing combos. Watch DC look for underhooks and to break the posture of Stipe.
Nice low kick by Daniel. Stipe has been landing a couple of hard chops. Ooh, big right hand by Daniel.
First clinch situation here, Dom.
Yeah, and it's because DC, notice how DC gives the underhook because he wants Stipe to grab him. He'd rather get in these types of scenarios early than be punching back and forth with Stipe. Create a wrestling match. That's where DC's comfortable. And Stipe looks very strong. This looks much stronger right here.
He's landing some big punches too.
The height is a real problem when you're giving up underhooks. So you see how DC has the overhook here. He's lifting, Stipe can lift DC right off the mat because of the height difference. So DC's the one who needs the underhooks. He's gonna win in these scenarios here.
Cormier had some issues early on in training camp with the extra weight, but felt as good as he's ever felt towards the end of camp in terms of his sparring.
Watch the back of the head, Daniel. It's going to work, guys. You want to stay there, show me something.
Miocic controlling his right wrist here. 2 minutes gone by, round one of a possible fight.
That's some tremendous strength to be able to hold on to DC's hand like that. And that might be shocking for DC. This is a real heavyweight.
Looked like DC landed a right hand on that ear. Stiff jab is there for Cormier.
You immediately could tell the size difference.
Watch those hands, guys. Keep the fingers
When they
in.
grab each other. That's where you could tell the most. And that's what I was saying. When you're grappling, this weight difference is huge.
Oh, nice knee from Stipe.
Stipe's hitting him with some really good shots. And these are probably some punches, other than Rumble Johnson, probably some of the hardest shots he's ever felt. Nice knee to the body there.
Looks like some swelling under the right eye of Stipe.
Watch the fingers, Daniel. Keep your hands
And something
closed.
that DC's coaches were all saying is he's hitting harder. The weight is making him knock people out more. We don't want to talk about it, but he really is knocking everybody out. So let's see, I mean, if the power really translates for him. And it looks like it is. He's already got Stipe a little bit cut in that eye from the jab and the uppercuts that he's throwing once he breaks the posture of Stipe in that clinch. Ooh, nice hook by Stipe.
Looked like maybe an elbow from Miocic. Nice combination from the chin.
And that's what I'm talking about. Stipe throws combinations. There's not a lot of heavyweights that throw combos like that.
Oh, he stunned him with that jab. DC pops him a couple of times.
Already been more punches thrown.
Big 1-2 from Cormier.
So he's still doing that lean, Cormier, but he doesn't got to worry about a southpaw left high kick coming up to his face, so it's not even a threat.
Oh, it looked like something caught Miocic in the eye.
Stop, hold time. Stay there. I saw. Over there. No coaching. No coaching.
We'll have the production try to isolate that,
Stay there.
folks, to see what it was.
Hold the
I didn't
time.
catch it.
Daniel, come here.
Here we go. They've got
Listen,
it. They're on the
listen,
ball.
my friend. I need
Let's
you to
take a look
clean
at
up.
it.
I've already said 3 times, keep the hands closed. I know it's difficult when you're coming together.
yeah.
I need the hands
That's
closed, okay? Keep them closed. Come back in. Time in. Let's go.
So a stern warning from Marquardt,
Keep
who
the
said to
hand closed.
DC he's already warned him 3
Close the
times.
hand, Daniel.
And there's another warning from Marquardt. So we'll see if DC can break that habit here. 1 minute to go in round one.
That was horrible. There's a switch kick to the body by DC. Oh, nice low kick by the champion. And that's something you don't see a lot from Stipe. Stipe does not throw a lot of kicks, primarily boxing based.
Miocic landed a significant right hand there.
Already more strikes landed and thrown during the entire Derek Lewis-Francis Ngannou fight. Oh, look at that, 1-2 by DC.
And then he clinches. Exactly what you got to do.
Oh, he hurt him!
He got it done! He got it done!
Daniel Cormier is the UFC heavyweight champion!
Oh, man, that is history, ladies and gentlemen.
Out of
You'll never see it
nowhere.
again.
Look at Stipe kick. He just stood up, but he's still hurt.
Yep.
Look at this here. They're in the clinch. He breaks free. Bam! On the chin. Stipe goes down. Boom, boom, boom. Out cold. Crazy. Look at this again. They're in the clinch. DC lands a perfect right hand. The legs go out. Boom!
And right here, this is what it's about. Clinching at the right time and then dirty boxing at the right time to nullify the height and the power of Stipe from distance. That's what Cormier had to do. He had to choose the right time to box at distance with combinations and then close in the gap. As we see him grab to the clinch, and now he dirty boxes right as he breaks away. It creates opportunities for him. Boom! Overhand right in the clinch, which is basically one of his staples. He got a good overhand right, but you see the power is serious in Daniel Cormier at this weight class. He's a true heavyweight.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Marquardt has called a stop to this contest at 4 minutes, 33 seconds of the very first round. Declaring the winner by